So what's going on, guys? CeeGee here today and welcome back to the channel. Now, I was awoken today to the news of a jetpack coming to Fortnite Battle Royale. At first I shrugged it off and thought, no, Epic Games had never had that, it'd be imbalanced, it'd be very over the top, it wouldn't be very Fortnite-esque, until I went on Twitter and saw that my worst fears are actually coming true, and that XO Fortnite is probably going to be becoming a thing. But I thought to myself, you know what? It's not all bad, because if done correctly, it could actually help the game, or not help the game, but it could actually benefit the game in lots of different ways. And so today, instead of having a gameplay, guys, I thought we would just sit down and go over the 3 ways that I personally believe that they will integrate jetpacks into Fortnite Battle Royale. So without any further ado, let's just get straight in to number 1. Now, my first idea is very similar to that of GTA's. Now, if you play GTA 5, or most of you probably have, it's one of the biggest selling games ever, to be fair. They recently added the jetpack as part of the Doomsday Heist DLC. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be like this vehicle that you can drive around in and whatnot. What I'm saying is that I think it will be more like a trap that you will have to build a floor, you will then put the trap down, or the jetpack down, you will then climb into the jetpack, and then you will have a one-time use to go up and fly wherever you want, but you only have, I don't know, say 30 seconds to fly and do so. That is sort of the first idea. Now, how they're going to manage to somehow make a stand for it, because in the screenshots, which I'll quickly pull up right now, it does look just like the backpack bit. That would be quite interesting, but I think it's probably the least viable option. It's probably the one that's not really gonna happen. I think that's a bit of a long shot, but I think that'd probably be the best way to do it without taking up an inventory slot, to have as a trap that you stand down, you climb into, and then you take off, which I think would be kind of cool. But then again, how do you deal with using it more than once? Or if you want to use it more than once, what kind of variety will it be? Will it be epic? Will it be legendary? No one really knows at this current time, because this poses a lot more questions than answers. But yeah, that's sort of like a brief explaining of what that is. There's not really more that you can say to that, which will lead me on to my next point, which is actually point number 2. So point number 2 is my sort of Call of Duty Titanfall style of jetpack, something that you just have on your back and you can use whenever you want as a booster. I think it'd be more like the Advanced Warfare kind of thing, when you jump and you get another burst of energy but you don't glide. I don't think it will be like Titanfalls or Black Ops 3 where you can hold square and properly just propel through the air. I think it'll be like a quick burst of energy, just for simple things like getting up a hill or storming a base or stuff like that. I think that's what it's going to be mainly targeted for, not actually like flying around from circle to circle. So that's going to be quite interesting to see, but the way that this would work, obviously, is you would need fuel for it. I think they would somehow have to integrate a new sort of ammunition called, like, I don't know, petrol or gasoline or something like that, where you would have to pick this up, and then it gave like a bar of your jetpack, and it would fill your bar. Like, I don't know, maybe one tank was like a quarter of your bar, and you need to find 4 tanks to fill it up, and then you can start using it, but you can only use it for, I don't know, say a total of 35 to 40 seconds. I think that is probably like one of the most viable options and the most doable, but I don't think that's what they'll go with, because I think having that fluent, very quick movement from the Call of Duty games, I don't think it would work in a third-person Battle Royale. I think it would feel a little bit out of place, and it would feel a little bit odd. But to be fair, I really don't know why a jetpack is coming anyway. Like, if I'm dead honest, I just think a jetpack is a bit of a bad idea. I'm not really down for the idea at all. Maybe it's some sort of joke, I don't know, but they're not really the kind of people to troll us. But yeah, the second idea is sort of like that simple Call of Duty just jump boost kind of thing, like, essentially like a double jump. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, you would jump, hit X in midair, and then they would jump again. That's pretty much all I'm saying there. It's a double jump sort of mechanic, which I don't know, I think is the most viable, but I think we need to look at option number 3 as well before we say anything. Now, option number 3 is my Boba Fett style, which you guys are going to be like, well, what do you mean? Well, for those of you that play Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I'm sure, a few of you have, not many of you will have because you don't really like the game, or the gambling scenario, blah, blah, blah. Boba Fett's jetpack has recharge time, and his recharge time is once you use it. When you use it, you have a little hexagon or a little shape. I don't know if it's a hexagon or not. It might be an octagon or whatever. And as you use it, that goes down and down and down. And wherever you leave off, it then has to fill up from there. But it is one continuous stream of jetpack. Now, I think this is probably going to be the best way to do it, and the way that I would like to see it. Although I did say I don't like continuation and the whole simple just continuing flying. But the reason that this is the best one is because full damage is still a thing. Because on Boba Fett's jetpack, when you play Star Wars, you can get as high as you want, and then when you run out of charge, you just fall. And you just hit the ground, and that's that. But the thing with Fortnite is, if you forget to pay attention to it, it could cause more deaths than it could help you, because you could just be trying to go up a hill, you could be halfway up, you could be, I don't know, 5 or 6 stories high, and then all of a sudden you just run out of charge and you just fall, and because you're 5 or 6 stories high and you can't build, you can't do anything because you're literally just in midair, you'll fall to your death. And I think that's probably the most balanced way they would add it, is because you have to be careful of what you're using and make sure that wherever you're going, the charge will last. But then again, the whole continuation of just being able to glide up and up and up and up and up is a little bit overpowered. They could maybe add that sort of Boba Fett style with the rocket fuel. So you have to put the rocket fuel and say one, like I said, one, can of gasoline is only a quarter of the bar. Once you put that gasoline in, you can only use that quarter of the bar, and that quarter of the bar will recharge. When you put another tank in, you then have half a bar, and that half a bar will recharge. And when you've got all 4 tanks, it fills up, and that whole bar will recharge. So you have to sort of build it up over time, or if you're lucky enough to find one at the very start. Now, there also is a fourth option that we haven't really mentioned yet, but is worth mentioning, so let's quickly just get onto that. The fourth option, I think, is probably the most likely one to happen, and that is the fact that we are all just low-key kind of getting trolled. Now, I just said a minute ago that they're not the kind of guys to do this, but I mean trolled in a different way. I mean trolled as in, this isn't a jetpack. This could be a new glider. This could be a new piece of back bling that just looks like a jetpack but doesn't actually do anything. I think those two things are the most viable options, because imagine having a glider where if you came down, you have your jetpack on, you deploy your jetpack and you hover in midair, and then you can land wherever you want. I think that's probably the most likely way for them to integrate it, because no one expected a giant dragon to come into it, or the bear. You can see that they've been really toying with new shapes and styles of gliders, so why not make something that is completely different and introduce the jetpack? Or maybe the jetpack will be a glider that you have to complete some sort of challenge for that will make you land quicker. You will come down and you can detonate it, and instead of just falling down at a slow pace, you can actually rocket towards the ground and land before everyone else. Or maybe you can get out of the bus, rocket down, and then pull your glider so that you can get to the ground a little bit quicker. Like I said, guys, there are so many questions that come from this, so many more than there are answers, and it's just really difficult to tell which is going to be which. But it's going to be really interesting to see how they integrate a jetpack into Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, obviously, if it's coming out on Thursday. We all know that the updates have been rolling out on Thursday for the past 2 months or so. So make sure that you guys check back here either Thursday or Friday, because I will have, regardless of whether it's a victory or whether it's a 100th place finish, I will be finding that jetpack, and when I find that jetpack, I will make a very small clip or very small gameplay just showcasing what that jetpack does. So do not miss that, and in order to not miss that, you make sure you need to subscribe just down below, and hit the little post notifications bell, because that's obviously when you'll be able to find out when I upload. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, remember to smash the thumbs up button. It would mean the absolute world to me. But guys, I have been your boy CeeGee. I really hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon with a brand new video. Goodbye.